Senthil Balaji, who spent close to 471 days in jail on charges of money laundering, was let off on bail yesterday. Balaji was arrested in June last year in the alleged scam that dates back to his tenure as the transport minister in the AIDMK government in 2011-16. After his release from jail, Senthil Balaji was given a hero's welcome by none other than Chief Minister CM Stalin, who lauded Senthil Balaji for his strength and resilience amidst what he described as political vendetta by the centre. You know what Stalin said, and I am quoting him here. Dear brother, Senthil Balaji has been granted bail by the Supreme Court after 471 days in the current scenario where the Enforcement Directorate has been turned into a tool to suppress political opponents. The Supreme Court alone stands as a beacon of hope. Your sacrifice is great, your resolve greater. There was no such long term even during emergency. The political conspiracies continued for 15 months. They tried to break his spirit, meaning Senthil, but he will come out stronger, meaning Senthil Balaji. On his part, Senthil Balaji thanked his leader, M.K. Stalin, profusely, as also what many say is Deputy Chief Minister designate Udayanidhi Stalin. Balaji said the case was false and motivated by political vendetta and that he would face it legally and emerge successful. There are indications that Senthil Balaji may return to the cabinet, even as Stalin had earlier indicated. Thus, his cabinet is now ready for all the necessary changes. The question is that a government which is already facing severe charges of worsening law and order situation, is Stalin banking too much on a tainted minister to heap so much praise upon him? It seems like it's over the top. That's all I'm saying. Salem Dharanidaran, spokesperson for the DMK, is here, and also Kovai Satyan, spokesperson for the AIDMK. A very, very warm welcome to both of you. Satyan, you go first. For me, it seemed like, straight out of a movie or one of those novels that, dear brother, you've come back, and all that happens when one comes back after a long incarceration, when you've done something which is heroic. But here he was on jail because of PMLA. I mean, what is your reaction to this, Satyan?
I have to hang my head in shame on a national media, speaking on valor and sacrifice of person of this caliber and stature. Let's understand, if this is where to be termed as a big sacrifice, and what would you call on the people who are patrolling the borders and safeguarding our nations? What would you call the sacrifice of our soldiers? And if sacrifice has to be compared with the emergency period, where an emergency is a war on democracy, that shows the desperation and incompetence of M.K. Stalin. 471 days, Senthil Balaji saved M.K. Stalin and his family by giving out the details of the scam proceeds which their family received from Senthil Balaji. That's the reason why he has been hailed as a hero by M.K. Stalin. What else can be said? It is as per the court direction that there is a prima facie evidence of this person indulging into corruption, which happened during our period AIDMK, and the court direction to conclude it in 90 days' time. And because of the crime process taken by him, PMLA Act comes into the picture. On the court direction, PC Act comes into the picture, Prevention of Corruption. And post which he is being sent to jail. And with after not of Nautanki, he suddenly had a chest pain. He peed on his pants and he went to the hospital, and wherein a heart surgery was, so-called heart surgery was performed, wherein they refused AIMS doctors to come and validate the same. So many dramas, so many episodes, wherein even he went ahead in the court and said the enforcement directorate coerced, threatened, pressurized, forced him to join BJP. Come, what and all role the enforcement directorates and CBI has to do, nobody knows. Now they have become the poachers for BJP.
Right.
And such statements all been made. Now he has become a hero.
Well, I'll also question you, Satyan, because there have been lots of leaders in the AIDMK in the past who's come back from jail and they have got heroines welcome, but that's for later. Salem Dharanidaran, I just find it rather strange that a man who speaks of moral probity, who talks about moral rectitude, and that being Muka Stalin. Of course, he can talk about how, this center is using the agencies to kind of, put false charges and there is political vendetta. But don't you think it's like dramatic? Dear brother, you are back. Does Muka Stalin and his government depend on Senthil Balaji so much is my question. I just want you, Dharan, to tell me how important Senthil Balaji is to Tamil Nadu.
See, before that, I think a single line to Mr. Kovai Satyan, dear friend, is a simple fact that we know how the Honorable Chief, ex-Chief Minister, late Jayalalitha was given uh, when when she was released from the jail in 2014. And similarly, we also know that her close aide was convicted, and we also know what would have happened if she had remained alive. So let's not get into that. But having said this is a very different matter. See, we are fighting against ED, which is violating human liberty. That is the point you have to look at, right? Firstly and foremost, any person, right, is not convicted until proven guilty, right? He's innocent until proven guilty. That's very important. Innocent proven guilty, and bail is the norm, right? Bail is not an exception. But because of some provisions in the Money Act under which ED operates, bail has become an exception. Any democratic country, you tell me, where is bail exception? Nowhere. And this is a threat to personal liberty. It is not just a Senthil Balaji case. Anywhere in India, 90% of the cases the ED has filed has been against
I'm
opposition
not
leaders.
look, Dharan, because it's a very short and crisp debate. Nowhere did I question why, what, how. I mean, we can have a conversation. After all, the court also has said that ED can't be used like a caged parrot. I have no problems.
Exactly.
I'm just talking about Dharan, the hero's welcome that he's been accorded. I want to know, what is this, brother? You have struggled, you will survive, the resilience and the struggle. I wish one could speak in Tamil and if use those words that Stalin used. But don't you think it's over the top? Wait a minute, sir. Look at if after all, you are part of the indie bloc. If Mr. Kejriwal has stepped down, let us say, I'm giving you a case where he says he doesn't want to be tainted. There are also rumors now that Mr. Senthil Balaji will be taken back into the cabinet. Hypocrisy much, Dharan. Bit of a hypocrisy there. I asked you, what is the importance of Mr. Senthil Balaji? I was very impressed. You called, you said Honorable Chief Minister Jayalalitha. Of course, she was honorable. We all respect her. I'm going to ask Satyan about that. But I want to know from you, what is so great about Mr. Senthil Balaji? He's tainted. He's out on bail, sir. He's not been completely off the block, as it were.
No, madam. We all know how this country works. Ever since BJP has come to power, opposition politicians have been targeted. In fact, we've been asking, we took us nearly 14 months after we sought permission of the governor to first prosecute 3 ADMK ministers. It took him 14 months to give us sanction for the same. But on the other hand, Senthil Balaji was arrested and put behind bars for 16 months. But without any result. Was he convicted? No. So any person who's not been convicted cannot be kept in prison, and he has come back. So in this country, we are seeing politicians are all being put behind bars and they're all coming out.
But sacrifice is great. Don't you think that's over the top? Sacrifice is great. Your sacrifice, bit much. I will stick my neck. Kovai Satyan, you said about how.
10 seconds. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. You need to give it 10 seconds. You are seeing two issues. A person convicted comes back. If he celebrate, then it's wrong. But here, ED is doing this as a business, putting opposition politicians in bars for 18 months, 20 months. Right? Are they able to get them conviction?
So no. It's a sacrifice.
The process is wrong.
Nothing is wrong. It's about perception, sir. It is not wrong.
If he was part of BJP or ADM,
Satyan, I want to ask you, you were sitting on judgment on them, but when your Jayalalitha came back, my God, I remember even Shashikala Natarajan, with whom now you have severed all relationship, when she came back, Chinnamma is back, and garlands and entire entourage. You guys do it. I'm asking you, what do you think is the over
Not for Shashikala Sudha.
Okay, Jayalalitha, you did know.
None of the AIADMK members went.
I'm asking you all that falling at, one has seen it. No, I'm much older, so I know I've seen this through. All I'm asking you is, what is this Senthil Balaji mystery? After all, he was in your government when this entire case happened, your party rather. I want to ask you, what is this great thing about your sacrifice is great, you have done so much? I mean, there is something which is more than meets the eye here, Satyan, so far as Senthil is concerned. Would you agree?
I would certainly agree. As far as our leader Purushottam Amma is concerned, everybody knows how she was implicated by the family, Shashikala and members and family. And yes, if the case were to be held, if she were to be alive, she would have definitely proved her innocence and walked free. But as far as Senthil Balaji is concerned, he is a partner in crime with respect to MK Stalin and family, and there is no denial to it. The proceeds, ill-gotten proceeds by running the excise department, unlicensed bars, and minting money by running through unlicensed bar, running through thousands and thousands of bars across Tamil Nadu. The proceeds definitely flew through the highest echelons and helms of affairs in DMK. That's the reason why he is behind bars. Everybody, the top brass in DMK is so rattled that he should not spill the beans. Let's not forget his brother Ashok Kumar is still hiding. And yes, he too is facing charges. And because of their secret understanding with BJP, he is being safeguarded and he is happily living a life somewhere hiding. And let me remind you, Sudha, since yesterday, after his release, even till now, none of the DMK spokespersons or leaders are saying Senthil Balaji is innocent. He has nothing to do with the corruption. And everybody knows that the verdict is due and he will be behind bars any moment.
Okay, I've
It is the
completely
same
run
Senthil
out. Yeah,
Balaji's counsel
Satyan.
which argued in the
Right,
court
right. I've
saying that
completely.
yes,
I
he
have
took the
only
money
one
and he
minute
returned
left.
it and they have reached a compromise.
Right. 1 minute I've left. Dharnidharan, what if, like Satyan says, it's, he proves to be guilty? What are you going to do? Talk about sacrifice? Dear brother, you are back. What will you do? Don't you think it will be embarrassing? So why
Madam,
preempt it?
no. The matter is sub judice. In fact, the punishment for the crime, for the crime under which he was taken for inquiry, the punishment is only 3 years, but he's already been in prison for 18 months in the name of investigation. In which country does it happen? And right? So how can you? And everyone is innocent and proven guilty. You can keep hypothesizing a lot of things, but as of now, he is innocent, and we are sure certain that he will prove it in the court, but the matter is in the court. I can't comment on something that's a sub judice matter. No, neither can you, neither can anyone else, neither can my leader, neither can my other spokespersons. Right? That's an otherwise it's contempt of court. But
Completely run
having
out
said
of
it,
time. Yeah.
I'm sure
Yeah.
that good will prevail.